Welcome to Mahila Money Talks. I am Tulika, your host, and we have Deepti Bansal, who is founder, director of Being Brands, which is a D2C venture. So, with masters in visual arts from Lucknow, Deepti Bansal has actually helped more than 15 small businesses in shaping their brand. And when we talk about the brand, Being Brands, it started with a small, it's a छोटे से कमरे से शुरुआत हुई थी इसकी और आज 30 SKU जो कि ना केवल Amazon बल्कि क्विक कॉमर्स साइट्स पर भी अवेलेबल हैं और ना ही ये केवल नेशनल नहीं इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे भी अवेलेबल है यूएस और सिंगापुर से इनको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स मिले हैं तो आज हम इस पॉडकास्ट में बात करने वाले हैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्लेबुक के बारे में फ्रॉम स्टार्टअप टू स्केल अप distribution playbook for D2C founders. So let's welcome Deepti to Mahila Money Talks. Welcome Deepti. How are you?
Hello, Tulika. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
So I'll ask you the first question. What were your first distribution channels when launching your brand and why did you choose them?
Actually, when we started Being Brands, so our first distribution channel was Amazon. And we started with Amazon because it's like it gives you pan-India presence from day one.
Yeah.
From day one, there is such a large customer base that you're reaching out with minimum upfront cost. You don't have to invest much in it, and you have no complexities of logistics because they have their own logistics. They pick up your orders. You just have to book it there and pack it and keep it ready. And they come and they pick it up and they deliver it to the customer. So logistic complexity was very solved with them. That was not a problem at all. And there's also trust that this platform gives us. ट्रस्ट एंड क्रेडिबिलिटी बिकॉज अगर हम ऐसे लेते हैं तो न्यू प्लेटफॉर्म से हर कोई हिचकिचाता है थोड़ा लेने में लाइक इट्स अ न्यू प्लेटफॉर्म रिटर्न हो पाएगा या नहीं सही क्वालिटी होगा या नहीं सो दैट ट्रस्ट एंड क्रेडिबिलिटी केम फ्रॉम Amazon because as you know it's a good established brand.
So coming to next question Deepti, how did you approach scaling? What came first, demand, supply, or channel expansion? And as I ask you this question, do explain us what kind of products you have. I mean, just talk a little bit about Being Brand.
So, as you said, for us, demand always came first, right? Whatever the demand is there from the customers. So, when we initially started, so with a few products, now when we started getting some feedbacks from the customers, our focus group, when we started getting good feedbacks along with quantity of orders were also increasing, right? So you are able to identify the demand from where it is coming and then accordingly you pull up your supply chain कि this is the demand, इतना demand है तो हमें supply chain को अब इस तरीके से prepare करना पड़ेगा ताकि वो इसे smoothly fulfill कर पाए and then you can move on to expanding to different channels.
Talk a little bit about Being Brands, what kind of products you have.
Tea masala, Mangodi, these were initial products. And then we came to know that they want pickles also. There are pickles in demand. There are pappers in demand. So we started more of pickles and pappers. So we have this tea masala which can be put in all sorts of tea. Okay. And it's kind of immunity booster. If you just, it's just a mixture of some spices and things that if you just put it in water and you have that warm water, it also boosts your immunity. One of our masalas, the Kitchen King masala that we have has 23 plus spices in it. So it covers almost all of your kitchen spices. You just put it in any sabzi and it turns out to be good. Good thing about our products is there are no preservatives in it.
Okay.
Yes. So the brand, the things that we follow in our brand is like that there should be no artificial color or there should be no preservatives in there. All made through traditional methods कि पूरा traditional ही रहे और authentic तरीके से बने. We started with 4 to 5 products, then we increased to 12 products. Then we also did the R&D for Being Punjabi and then we launched Being Punjabi. So now overall covering both the brands, there are 30 plus products and we are working on more. Yeah. And there will be 2 more brands coming up in the upcoming year.
Deepti, one important question for you. What were the early, mistakes that you would have, during distribution, you would have found that these are the mistakes that happened in the early days, if you could elaborate on that?
So, in our early days, the you can say the biggest mistake or the learning was that we underestimated the importance of operational agility. So the major mistake that we made was that we tried to cover more space. So we went to too many channels at once. Right, that let's go to Amazon, we should have our own website, Flipkart, Cred, let's go to all the platforms and try. But going into too many channels at once, they diluted our focus and our resources were really stretched. So that was a big learning that creates a lot of problem. So then we realized that we should have just-in-time operations, tight run operations, which are just-in-time processes and everything goes in time with what you have analyzed from your demand. So in that was a big learning. Apart from that, we also learned about robust packaging.
Okay.
That is also very important because while you're sending your material from one place to the other, because it's digitally, so it's not that somebody's coming to you and buying it from the shop, so you know it's kept safe and you can just pick it up and go. When people order from, it travels from one place to the other, and then maintaining the freshness and the quality, because you know how much time that takes. So we should have a good shelf life of the products that you're making. So these were the things that we learned.
How do you decide when it's time to enter a new marketplace, platform, or region? Yeah.
So we see where our customers are shopping, what they want, what are the products they would be interested in what areas would they want it. So these are things which you learn while you're in the journey, because as you keep identifying, you keep updating yourself with these things. Like in the beginning, when, as I told you, we started with Amazon. So in Amazon, initially we started with the merchant supply. So like when customers are placing any orders, we are fulfilling them directly. So that way, that orders would come to us and we will fulfill it. Then we realize that there is more demand, and if we are able to reach the customers, or we can, supply them in lesser time. So for that, we will have to go for FBA. That is like we send the stuff to Amazon, and from Amazon's platform, it gets dispatched to the customers. So it's there in their warehouses. And that too, they have a very set reports from where you can analyze where the demand is more. So you can follow accordingly and fulfill. And along with that, you have to, as I said, ki supply chain, we have to keep in control that all the supplies that you are giving, as per the demand, you keep increasing it and you keep increasing to the growth. So we moved from Amazon merchant to Amazon FBA, and then we moved to quick commerce. And now in quick commerce also, we are in multiple channels, like we are in Zepto, we are on Swiggy, and in different regions. We are covering pan India in Swiggy and Zepto as well.
Now, next question to you. What role have partnerships, retail, or offline channels played in your growth?
For this, I would say we have not done much of retail or offline channels. We are digitally first, so we have explored more of a digital market. So with that, partnerships have been crucial. Like Fendi started with quick commerce, so their terms, everyone has their different terms to start selling on their platform. They have their different things and criteria that we set, that what are the products that they would like to keep on their platform, what will be their value, what will be the discounts or ads. So all those things. And here we had to start the handling of supply chain by ourselves. We have to handle the logistics also. Right. So along with that, another crucial thing was our exports. We have started exports recently. So our distributors, जो international distributors हैं उनके साथ partnership was very important because they helped us to scale.
How do you balance control versus reach? And when I say that, for example, you put your products on Amazon, you put your products on, all sorts of quick commerce, and they have their own whims and fancies in terms of control, right? And obviously, they help you reach on a wider market. So, how do you balance that? I mean, as an entrepreneur, what is your thought process of that?
To balance control and reach is you are reaching the customers through different platforms, so you're obviously able to reach, but controlling the quality of product is in our hands. So the two things I think balance and control would cover for me is that what quality I'm serving in all the platforms. Doesn't matter if it's my own website or place, people don't know what the product is about. The story of the product, about the product,
Yeah,
to
actually, the
know.
brand voice. I
Yeah,
mean, it dilutes
yes,
in all these
exactly.
marketplaces. So, how do you balance
Yes.
that? Yeah.
But I these platforms, the good thing about these platforms is that they do have a specific guideline how you're supposed to display your products, but
Okay.
there are very minimum restrictions or almost no.
Okay.
So we choose platforms when you said how do you scale and how do you choose the platform. This is also one factor how we choose our
Okay.
platform that which is aligning with our brand guidelines and they are not hindering it or stopping it in coming in front.
I mean, there are a lot of D2C founders who would be hearing this podcast. For them, I mean, what is the distribution playbook that you would suggest them to follow if they are starting out to launch a D2C brand?
I would suggest that they should go digitally first. So when they're
Okay.
going digitally first, there is very basic cost that they have to cover. That is of the goods, of the production, of the packaging. But then otherwise, displaying and infrastructure cost and that is sorted.
Yeah.
So digitally first is a more feasible way to start with. And of course, you will have to have tight run operations. You will have to control how much you are able to produce and when you need to scale up. Like now we need to scale up the production, so now we need more employees. Now we need more people to pack, more quantities to produce. So that has to be very in check. That what is the how are we going with it? So you have to align with your operations, and you should keep telling everyone about the brand. You keep telling them about the brand story so that nobody gets misguided
Yeah.
wherever on social media or whichever platform you're using. You should be very transparent with the customer and the people, telling them about what you want to talk about.
And Deepti, coming to the last question for this podcast, any tools, resources, or mentors that help you navigate scaling? If you could elaborate.
I think during our conversation, we have covered all the tools and resources we could. And of course, many people are there behind being brands. They have been really a good support for me. So I would like to thank my friends and family who were our seed investors in the
Yeah.
beginning. So they supported us like that. They guided us through our journey, and kept us boosted. And of course, our customers whose feedback has been constantly helping us to grow and improve.
Thank you so much, Deepti, for joining us on this podcast, and all those women entrepreneurs who would be listening to this podcast. For you, there are a lot of tips that Deepti and I spoke about. A lot of tips she shared on, distribution playbook for D2C startup. Utilize those. Learn from her mistakes. Learn how she went from Amazon to quick commerce. How the operational issues were resolved. How did she capture all the mistakes that were going on in early days, and now she has actually worked on it. Stay tuned for next episode of Mahila Money Talks. Thank you so much.